Hello my viewers, and welcome to a compelling exploration of the origins of religion and the profound impact of historical events on our spiritual beliefs. Now in this enlightening video, Dr. Ray Huggins unveils the hidden truths behind the birth of organized religion and its implications for humanity's spiritual journey. Now prepare to embark on a journey through time as we take a look into pivotal moments in history that shaped the landscape of religious thought. Dr. Huggins sheds light on the emergence of Christianity during the Roman Empire, tracing its roots to the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, where the foundations of what we now know as Christianity were laid. But the story doesn't end there. Dr. Huggins unveils the dark shadows cast by the Roman Catholic Church during the so-called Dark Ages, from 500 AD to 1500 AD, a period marked by suppression of knowledge and persecution of alternative spiritual beliefs. Now, through censorship and violence, the church sought to control the hearts and minds of the populace, eradicating dissent and imposing its own interpretations of truth. Yet, even in the midst of suppression, seeds of resistance were sown. Dr. Huggins highlights the resilience of ancient African spiritual systems, which faced persecution but persisted in the hearts of those who sought true connection to the divine. Now, as we journey through history, we confront the legacy of manipulation and control that has shaped religious institutions for centuries. Dr. Huggins exposes the motives behind the birth of organized religion, a desire for power, profit, and domination over others. But amidst the shadows of the past, there is hope. Now, Dr. Huggins calls upon Africans to reconnect with their ancestral spirituality, reclaiming their heritage and rediscovering the truths that have been obscured by centuries of religious dogma. So join me as we uncover the hidden truths behind the veil of religious history and embark on a journey towards spiritual liberation and enlightenment.
In fact, there would never be anything called religion if there had been no Dark Ages.
Right. Right.
Now follow what I'm saying. I don't know where I'm at. Okay, I'm good. You see, around the 4th century, 325 AD, when the Roman Catholic Church created this program that we now call Christianity at the Council of Nicaea, under the rule of Emperor Constantine with 318 Roman Catholic bishops. Fact. Shortly thereafter, the program wasn't catching hold in the minds of the people fast enough. So the Roman Catholic Church thrust the Roman Empire, or the then known world as we were taught to call it, into what was called the Dark Ages. Now mind you, this is in the 4th century. The Nicene Council, 325 AD. Starting 500 AD, the Roman Catholic Church suppressed information. All books were burned. I repeat, all books were burned. Anybody who was caught with any sacred writings of the ancient African spiritual system was put to death. I repeat, anybody who was caught with any of the writings from ancient Africa was put to death by order of the Roman Emperor. So from 500 AD to 1500 AD, information and right knowledge was suppressed. Fact. They call it the Dark Ages, or that was the period of medieval Europe, or the Middle Ages. All these names, the same thing. Well, after 1,000 years of suppressing right knowledge, well, what do you think these folk were doing during that 1,000 years? They was reforming it, interpolating it, adjusting it, twisting it, erasing it, replacing it. For 1,000 years. And in 1500 they came out, and it was called the Age of the Renaissance, meaning a new thing is happening.
Yes.
Well, what do you think they're teaching everybody now? What they created during that 1,000 year period. Just before that, or shortly thereafter, somewhere around that same time period, this dude named Gutenberg came out with what's called the printing press. And if you want to control the thinking of a people, all you got to do is put it in print. The power of the printed page. Shortly after that, James Stewart decided he wanted his version of the Bible out. So he got 40 so-called scholars to come together and put his version of the Bible out. And to this day, from 1611 or 1600s to this day, it is still the #1 seller on this planet.
Yes, sir.
All religion, everybody repeat this after me, all religion was born from a desire to dominate and control others for profit and power. This is why we Africans must return to our African spirituality. That's what the African village is about. That's what this ministry is about. Brothers and sisters, I take no joy in pointing out to our people the lie that was given to us. Because I know it's unbearable for many. It hurts for many. They resist it. They retaliate. They say, this man is crazy. He's an antichrist. I take no joy in that. I want to be patted on the back. I don't want to be talked about. But I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. The only way that I'm going to set our people free is if I show our people the lie that has mind cuffed them. People don't like it when you tell them that they've been believing a lie. I didn't like it. My mama, my mother, the woman who raised me, who's responsible for my being, wouldn't speak to me for 2 years. That's how deep this thing is. Until she started slowly but surely reading little bit by little bit for herself. She still ain't ready to grab it all. But y'all heard her when she was here. Keep on doing what you're doing, son. We Africans must return back to the God consciousness that we had before we were stolen from our motherland and given a belief system from a people who don't look like us, who don't want us to know the truth. I promise you this, when we do that,
Yes, sir.
the healing that we're praying for will take place. When we return to our story and stop believing his story. When we return to who we are, a right knowledge of self and our spirituality, I guarantee you our homes will be better off.
Yes, sir.
We've been messed up by religion.
Yes, sir.
And I promise God that every breath I have left in my body, from this day to the day I die, I'm going to use it to unmess us up.
Now, Dr. Ray Hagin's video provides a thought-provoking analysis of the historical roots of organized religion and its enduring impact on human spirituality. So with that said, let's take a look into the supporting facts and evidence that bolster his assertions. Now, he accurately references the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD as a pivotal moment in the development of Christianity. Now, this council Convened by Roman Emperor Constantine, I brought together hundreds of bishops to establish a unified Christian doctrine and address theological controversies of the time. The Nicene Creed, formulated at this council, defined key aspects of Christian belief and laid the groundwork for the institutionalization of Christianity as the state religion of the Roman Empire. Now, the period commonly known as the Dark Ages, spanning roughly from 500 AD to 1500 AD, was indeed marked by significant cultural and intellectual stagnation in Europe. The decline of centralized authority, coupled with invasions, warfare, and economic instability, led to a decline in literacy and the suppression of intellectual pursuits. Now, the Roman Catholic Church wielded considerable power during this time, often suppressing alternative forms of knowledge and spirituality deemed heretical. Now, Dr. Huggins accurately describes the efforts of the Roman Catholic Church to suppress information and control religious thought during the Dark Ages. The Church's dominance led to the censorship and destruction of texts deemed heretical, including works associated with ancient African spiritual systems and other indigenous belief systems. Now, this suppression contributed to the hegemony of Christianity in Europe and the marginalization of alternative spiritual traditions. Dr. Huggins references the invasion of the Gutenberg printing press in 1455 AD, a technological innovation that revolutionized the dissemination of information. The printing press enabled the mass production of books, including religious texts such as the Gutenberg Bible. Now, this technological advancement played a critical role in the dissemination of religious ideas and contributed to the spread of Christianity during the Renaissance period. He advocates for a return to African spirituality, emphasizing the resilience and wisdom of indigenous African belief systems that predate organized religions. Now, African spiritual traditions characterized by a deep connection to nature, ancestor veneration, and communal rituals offer an alternative framework for understanding the divine and one's place in the universe. By grounding Dr. Huggins' commentary in historical facts and evidence, we gain a deeper understanding of the complex interplay between religion, power, and cultural hegemony. His insights challenge us to critically examine the origins of our religious beliefs and consider alternative spiritual paths rooted in ancestral wisdom and cultural heritage. His advocacy for a return to African spirituality aligns with historical evidence of rich and diverse spiritual traditions across the African continent, from the ancient civilizations of Egypt, Nubia, and Kush to the traditional belief systems of West Africa. Africa boasts a wealth of indigenous spiritual practices that predate the arrival of Christianity and Islam. Now, the spread of Christianity and Islam across Africa was often intertwined with the process of colonization and cultural imperialism. European colonizers and missionaries imposed their religious beliefs upon indigenous African populations, often through coercive means such as forced conversion, suppression of traditional practices, and destruction of sacred sites. Now, despite centuries of colonial oppression, African communities have demonstrated resilience and adaptability in preserving and revitalizing their ancestral spiritual traditions. Many indigenous African beliefs have persisted through syncretism, blending elements of Christianity or Islam with traditional practices to create unique hybrid faiths that reflect the cultural diversity of the African diaspora. Dr. Huggins' call for Africans to reclaim their ancestral spirituality resonates with contemporary movements aimed at decolonizing religious thought and practice. Now, scholars and activists advocate for a critical reevaluation of religious narratives, challenging Eurocentric interpretations and reclaiming indigenous perspectives that have been marginalized or erased. The influence of African spiritual traditions extends far beyond the continent, shaping cultural practices and religious beliefs in the African diaspora and beyond. From the Caribbean to the Americas, African-derived religions as a Vodou, Santeria, and Candomblé continue to thrive, offering pathways for spiritual connection and cultural identity for millions of people worldwide. African spirituality often emphasizes a deep reverence for the natural world and a holistic understanding of humanity's interconnectedness with the environment. Now, indigenous African belief systems promote sustainable practices and ecological stewardship, offering valuable insights into addressing contemporary environmental challenges and fostering harmony between humans and nature. Now, African spirituality encompasses diverse belief systems that have evolved over millennia, rooted in a deep reverence for nature, ancestors, and community. Now, these traditions emphasize interconnectedness, balance, and harmony with the natural world, offering valuable insights into sustainable living and holistic well-being. European colonization and the spread of Christianity and Islam across Africa led to the marginalization and suppression of indigenous spiritual practices. Many African cultures experienced cultural erasure, forced conversion, and the destruction of sacred sites, disrupting millennia-old traditions. Now, despite colonial oppression, African communities have preserved their spiritual heritage through resistance, adaptation, and syncretism. Indigenous beliefs have persisted through hybrid faiths that blend elements of Christianity, Islam, and traditional practices, reflecting cultural resilience and continuity. African spirituality has had a profound impact beyond the continent, shaping cultural practices and religious beliefs in the African diaspora and influencing global spiritual movements. African spirituality offers profound insights into humanity's relationship with the natural world and provides a pathway for cultural resilience, empowerment, and holistic well-being in the face of colonial legacies and contemporary challenges. We have finally come to the end of the video. Share your thoughts as well in the comment section. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.